Alright, we're back in action. Round 2 of the Burning Man Huge Freakin' Laser Random Number Generator Experiment.
My name is Tam Hunt. I'm a visiting scholar at UCSB.
And here's me, floating like a butterfly at last year's burn. Now, last year's experiment was very successful. We showed that there was, in fact, an impact of mind on matter.
As this chart shows, the real spike during the burning of the man. And this itself is really good evidence that there is, in fact, something going on here that is not explained by mainstream science.
The problem last year was that a huge freaking laser was not very huge, so we missed out on the positive feedback loop.
And this year, round 2, that's what we're going for.
This is a big collaboration between folks at IONS, including Cassie Beaton right here,
and Arna DeLorme, our technical wizard, and Dean Radin, also at IONS, and author of a really good book on these phenomena called Entangled Minds, which I highly recommend you read. Other collaborators include Roger Nelson with the Global Consciousness Project, Claudia Wells with the Global Coherence Initiative,
and David Shearer with BlackRock Solar,
who got us a SunPod solar array with lithium-ion battery to actually power the whole setup. James Sanusa from Camp Ideate was a lot of help. And last but not least, Joey Burnett, intern extraordinaire at IONS. Now here's Cassie, who was honored last year to be asked to speak at the Black Rock City TEDx event.
IONS was founded by the Apollo 14 astronaut Edgar Mitchell, who was the 6th man to walk on the moon. And on his way back from his moonwalk, he was lucky enough to have the window seat in the space capsule. And so he was viewing the Earth and the sun and the stars and the moon as he rotated in the space capsule, and he was overcome by a sort of sense of wonder and awe at a direct knowledge of his interconnectedness with everything he saw, and a sort of sense of intelligence or divinity permeating everything. And this lasted for several days. When he got back to Earth, he wanted to know what happened to him, so he decided to found this institute to bring the rigor of science and the scientific method to studying inner space, or these kinds of experiences people have, this subjective experience of being interconnected or one with everything.
We're also collaborating with a crew called the Control Tower. And these guys are working on this big tower that is, explicitly a collaborative art project. So we're hoping to join forces with them and get some really big lasers on top of their tower and make it really visible across the whole freaking playa. Now, a little more background on the whole issue of minds impacting matter. We use what's called an RNG, a random number generator, and these devices put out zeros and ones randomly based on quantum theoretical components, essentially. They're calibrated, so we know, in fact, they are putting out random streams, which means even numbers of zeros and ones over time. And when we actually test them on the playa, in terms of the effect of mass celebration on the output of zeros and ones, we find that there is, in fact, a big deviation from randomness during the big events like the burning of the man and the temple burn. And again, no one knows why this happens. There are certainly theories, but it's a really pretty nascent area of science. So it's kind of wide open right now as to why this stuff happens. But we have done a pretty good job so far of showing that it does in fact happen. This is a real phenomenon. And we're hoping that the laser addition will make the effect that much more pronounced, because of course the whole point is to have a positive feedback loop from the laser. So as the impact of the mass celebration becomes more pronounced and the deviation from randomness more pronounced, the laser will show that visually. So we need your help. Please give 20, 30, 50, 100, 200 bucks to help us make this really freaking huge and really freaking awesome. We really appreciate it and look forward to seeing you all on the playa this year.